we're going to talk about something that not a lot of people like to talk about, and that is money. We're going to talk about how you can grow your money mindset. And the thing is, it's not even that people don't like to talk about money. It's that it was a stigma of society to raise in us the belief that talking about money is a bad thing. It was society that has raised in us the belief that money is the root of all. I don't even have to finish my sentence, and you know what I was going to say, right? We've been instilled with these beliefs and thought patterns that tell us that money is a bad thing to talk about. Have you ever been around a dinner table and you start to talk about money and everyone just gets really weird? Everyone just gets really quiet. And now when I'm around those dinner tables, I'm like, hey, why has everyone got such a problem talking about money? Right? And that's why a lot of people might not like having dinner with me. But I'll tell you who does like having dinner with me and who I enjoy having dinner with. People who talk about money. This is the thing about money. I have yet to meet a person with copious levels of wealth, copious levels of financial resources, who is a bad person. I have yet to meet them. And are they out there? Yes. But I feel that the reason I haven't met them yet is because generally the universe doesn't reward those who don't support more of life. Meaning if you're not a great person, usually money doesn't flow to those people. Usually. But why is it that we don't like to talk about money? Why is it that school doesn't teach us about money? Why is it that the government doesn't teach us about money? All it does is talk about how much debt the country's in. All it does is talk about the plummeting of the stock market. Why didn't the school teach us about the stock market? Why didn't school teach us about real estate? Why didn't school teach us how to open a savings account so that we could actually begin to save, so that we can begin to invest? Why didn't school or college or anything teach you how to make more money? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the beliefs about money that's been instilled in us by society, how we can eliminate that faulty hardwiring, because that's what it is. It's programming. And unless we make an active attempt to remove that programming, it will stay around, it will become stronger, and then we will pass it on to those who come after us, whether that's our children or whoever it is that we spend time with the most. And we're going to talk about how you can make it so money will literally flow to you. We think of making money, and what do you think about when you think of making money? Do you think about how easy it is? Do you think about how money is everywhere? Do you think how money is in abundance? Or do you think money is difficult? It's hard to earn money. If I want to earn money, then that means that I must put in a lot of hard work. I'll tell you, that's what I used to think. I grew up watching my dad go to work every single day. My mom went to work every single day. She started as a babysitter and she quickly moved into the restaurant industry. And I don't know if you've ever worked as a waiter or waitress or anything like that, but they work freaking hard to make a livable wage. They're not even paid minimum wage because they have to rely on a lot of tips to earn the amount of money they're going to earn. But I grew up with a hardworking mom and I grew up with a very hardworking dad. And he went outside in the snow to build homes, and he's still doing this to this day. So growing up, I was instilled with the belief of it takes hard work to earn money. And let me tell you, I'm happy that I was grown up, that I grew up with that belief. And the reason was I started to work when I was 14 years old. I went and I wanted to find a job. I still know people who are in their mid or early 20s who don't have a job, and they live at home. Or they live with their friends somehow, hustling to take money from here and here and here. And it's not even that they don't want to be quote unquote successful, because money isn't the only thing that makes you successful. It's that they don't know how. And sure, it's no excuse because they could look up a YouTube video and literally learn how in 10 minutes. But the thing is, we aren't taught how to learn growing up or through school. And it's not that our parents didn't teach us about money because they're bad people. It's because their parents didn't teach them about money. My grandmother, my grandfather, they didn't know about money. My grandmother came from Italy. My grandfather came from Mexico. Their only goal was survival. Their only goal was, we got to get somewhere where we can raise our family and pay the bills and survive. And you know what? I respect the hell out of that. But the difference now is we don't need to just think about survival. A lot of you listening, like you are in a position to earn a lot more money than you're earning right now. And we're going to talk about why you might want to earn more money, because a lot of people are focused on survival. And I remember when my own money paradigm, the way that I thought about money, I remember when my beliefs changed about what I was able to earn with the education that I had. When I was 18, I worked at Walmart and I got a job at Walmart and I got into my interview and they looked at me and they said, Brandon, we're going to pay you $9.90 an hour for your work. And I looked at them and I said, oh my God, like that's amazing. And I didn't say this out loud. All I said to them was, okay, yep, that sounds good to me. Because I was used to making $7 an hour over at the Golden Corral, which is a restaurant over in, it was over in Queensbury is where I worked there. And I started working at the Saratoga Walmart for those who are in this local area as me. And when they said $9.90 an hour, I thought that's $2 more than I'm making an hour. That is like copious amounts of money. And I got into the parking lot and I called my dad and I said, Dad, guess what? And he's like, what, son? I said, I'm earning $9.90 an hour working at Walmart. And he's like, son, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. And things were going very well until the point where Walmart laid me off because somebody was coming to the department that I worked in who's been there for like 20 years. And they said, Brandon, we're going to give you the option. You can either work in this department, which I believe was grocery or pushing carts or whatever it was, which, hey, I respect the hell out of people who do that, but that just wasn't what I wanted to do. I was selling phones at Walmart at the time in the electronics department, and I loved talking to people. I loved sales. I've always loved sales. I've always loved the psychology of influencing someone to do something that was good for them and that was also good for me. So I looked on Craigslist and I found another job with a different company. I'm not going to say company names and stuff like that, but I started working there. And I remember my interview, and this is where my whole paradigm of money shifted. I sat down with the person. She had a very thick Long Island accent. And she looked at me and she said, Brendan, she never could pronounce my name. She said, Brendan, how much money are you looking to earn here? And I said, well, I'm making like $10 an hour right now over at Walmart, but it'd be cool if I could at least earn the same amount. I really like doing this, and $10 an hour is good for me. Because at the time, I wasn't thinking about my future. I wasn't thinking about my investments. I wasn't thinking about creating a better life. All I was thinking about was survival and maintaining the lifestyle that I already had. And I said to Sandy, I just want to earn the same amount. And what she said next changed my paradigm forever. She said, well, honey, $10 an hour isn't going to cut it here. And I looked at her and my heart started to beat fast because I was like, oh my God, did I say something wrong? And she said, the average person here makes $4,000 a month. And when she said $4,000 a month, and now I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, that's small, right? It's all relative to what you're earning now. To some of you listening, that might be a lot. To some of you, that might be chump change, right? To me now, I look at that and it's a respectable wage. But at the time, that shifted my entire mindset around money. I thought to myself, $4,000 a month? What would $4,000 a month allow me to do? How could I help people with that? What kind of car would that allow me to buy? What kind of house would that allow me to get into? What would I be able to do with my family if I was earning $4,000 a month? So I looked at her when she said that, and I said, $4,000 a month sounds great. Well, yep, sign me up. Let's do it. And I got home that day, and I remember I got the job, and I went up to my parents, and I said, Mom, Dad. And they said, what, honey? And I said, guess what? I'm going to be earning $4,000 a month with this company. And they looked at me, and I've never told them this story. So if you're watching, Mom and Dad, this is what happened. They looked at me and they said, honey, that's got to be a scam. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, there's no way you can earn $4,000 a month selling cell phones, because that's what the job was. And I looked at them and I was like, well, why do you think that? And they're like, honey, you need an education to earn that amount of money. There's no way, Brandon, that an 18-year-old with just a high school education is going to be earning $4,000 a month. But you live in our basement. You're safe here. You're secure here. And honestly, you got nothing to lose. So go for it, honey. Shoot for the moon. And I was a little discouraged. And I went to my room And I thought to myself, well, how could I make sure that this happens? How could I make sure this is true? In the first month I went to work at this sales company, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I made $4,000 in my first month. My first year with this sales company, I made right about $60,000 in 1 year at 18 years old. Now, that again might not sound like a lot of money, but to me at 18 years old, to an 18-year-old teenage kid who believed it took an exorbitant amount of hard work to make that kind of money, that was mind-blowing. It changed my entire life. But let me tell you something. Just because I was earning a lot more money, just because you might earn a lot more money than what you're earning right now, that money will escape you unless you do one specific thing, which we're going to talk about. But I remember this job that I worked in, I was working around other salespeople, and I was 18. I was doing really well for myself. And this really showed me an inside look at the way that a lot of people think. A lot of people are focused only on survival. Most people aren't looking to thrive. They are looking to survive. And I say that because I was making $4,000 to $5,000 every single month in my first year, and I was top of the leaderboard. I was doing better than most people. And I asked myself, why am I, an 18-year-old kid, doing better than all these people who were in their mid-30s, early 40s, late 20s? And as I talked to people, I asked them, because I was a cocky little kid who didn't have many friends at this point, I was like, why do you only earn this much and I earn this? And it probably not a great question to ask, but I didn't know at the time. This is 10 years ago almost. And they're like, well, I only need $3,000 a month to survive. I only need to make $3,500 to put food on the table and to keep the lights on. And I started to think, why are people focusing on keeping the lights on and putting food on the table when they could be focusing on a greater future? When they could be focusing on what amazing things they want to do in their life in the future. You know, the thing is, we hardly ever focus on the future, but what's going to happen is time is passing. Time is going to pass, whether you create a plan or not. And if you're just focused on survival right now, then in 10 years, you'll be in the same exact spot. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you are just focused on maintaining your existing lifestyle, in 10 years, your lifestyle will be the same. And you might be thinking, Brandon, why do I need more money? Brandon, I'm happy with the amount of money that I make right now. That's completely cool, but remember what happiness really is. And you might agree, you might disagree, but you know what? Most people listening to this are my audience and they'll agree. And that is progress equals happiness. If in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I'm making the same amount of money I'm making now, that probably means my lifestyle is the same, right? Yes. Time waits for no human. So I want to make progress. I want to get better. Hence my shirt, be better. And all these people around me, they were only focused on surviving. I want you to think right now, what are some of the amazing things that money could do for you in your life? What are some of the great things that money can do? Money can make an incredible lifestyle for your family. If you have children, it can provide an incredible lifestyle for them. It can allow you to travel wherever you want to travel. It can allow you to do whatever it is you want to do. It can allow you to get the car that you want. It can allow you to travel in the fashion that you want to, whether it's a subway, a car, whatever it might be, a nice bicycle, a motorcycle, a boat. It can allow you to live in the home and live in the area and live in the neighborhood that you want to live in. Live anywhere. In today's world, you hop on a plane, you're in Florida in 2 hours, if you live in New York at least. There's a world of possibilities when it comes to money. And listen, money doesn't make you happy. We know a bunch of people who were massively wealthy. One that comes to mind is Robin Williams. We loved Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a funny guy. It looked like he had the world at his fingertips. He achieved every possible goal that he ever wanted to achieve. He had as much money as he could ever want, but he ended his life. Because money doesn't make you happy alone, but let me tell you, money allows you to do a lot of incredible things that you wouldn't be able to do without it. Money isn't everything. Money is just one facet. It's just one piece And if you master that piece, in my opinion, it makes it easier to master all of the other pieces. Money allows you to build schools. Money allows you to give to people. Money allows you to buy a coffee for the person behind you in line at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and not have to worry in your mind, oh my God, I hope this isn't more than like $5, right? And then you pay for their meal and you get the receipt and it was like $15 and you're like, I can't pay the rent this month, right? Money allows you not to have these thoughts of scarcity and lack and thoughts of not enough. And let me tell you, that first year in sales, I made $60,000. I dropped out of college because I said to myself, why am I going to college to be a lawyer to make $60,000 when I'm doing what I'm doing right now and making that same amount of money? I've already reached my goal. I have no college education. Okay, I have 2 months, practically, maybe a few more of college education. It was hard, man. I respect the hell out of people who go to college and get their degree. I respect that. But please understand, it's not for everybody. Just like sales isn't for everybody, right? There's different things for different people. But now I'm consistently earning over 6 figures a year, which allows me to do beautiful things for my family. It allows me to give. It allows me to not have to worry about all the different things that I have to pay for and whether I'm going to have enough money at the end of the month. It makes it so I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. But let me tell you, I was earning great money at the beginning. My first year, I made $60,000. My second year, I made $90,000. My third year, I made over 6 figures, but I was broke. Because money is amazing, but it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you actually keep. And I was doing so well. I was making a ton of money. A lot of you guys already know this story. I was making great money, but I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now. I was making amazing money, almost 6 figures my second year in, but I was $20,000 in debt because of one reason and one reason alone. I had no plan. I had no idea, no strategy, no forward thinking when it came to what should I be doing with my money. And because I didn't have a plan, money left me. And I became negative about money. I started to open my bank account and see all the debt that I was in. And I thought, oh my God, I hope I don't get into more debt. Oh my God, I hope I'm able to pay off this minimum payment that I have to pay. Oh my God, I hope I can still pay for my nice luxury car that everyone else, to them, it makes it look like I'm very successful, but they don't know that I'm actually thousands of dollars in debt. And it was stressful. And right now, I want you to think of money as if money were a person. If money was a person and you're looking at that person, the person being money, and you're looking at them and you're saying, you stress me out. You make me anxious. You're the root of all evil. You cause me undue levels of stress and anxiety and all these different things in my life. And I don't want any more of you, right? It's always the people that say money is the root of all evil. And it's always the people who say that they don't want more money or that money won't do anything more for them. It's always those people that are broke. And it's always those people that are home and they're worried and they have sleepless nights. And they say they don't know why, but yet then they go to their friends and they talk negatively. They crap talk about money. And listen, if money was a person, money would not want to hang out with somebody who didn't like it. Money wants to hang out with somebody who has a plan. Money wants to hang out with somebody who knows what they're going to do with that income, with those resources. If you have a plan for your money, that's when you will keep it. When you have a plan for your money, that's when you'll actually be able to do incredible things for your life and the lives of other people. Because when I did finally create a plan, it was because I found a mentor who gave me the book called Total Money Makeover. I'm going to say it again because I want you to buy this book immediately if you have any form of debt. Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Buy the book. Follow what he calls the baby steps. Those got me out of debt. And after I was out of debt, Dave Ramsey helped me to create a plan. And that plan was a very simple plan. That plan says, with any amount of money that you earn, the first person that you must pay is the government. You probably weren't expecting that. You have to pay your taxes, right? And that comes out before anything else comes out. But the second person that you have to pay is you. You have to pay yourself first. This was the mistake that I made for years and years and years. I would pay my rent. I would make my car payment. I would buy the groceries. I would buy whatever other toys that I needed that month, or quote unquote needed toys that I wanted that I absolutely didn't need, but I thought it would bring me happiness. I remember I bought a $1,000 guitar once, and as soon as I hit the buy now button, I was depressed and I had immediate buyer's remorse. And I asked myself, why did I do this? And let me tell you, when my wife found out about it, she was not happy whatsoever. But I got better and I created a plan. And that plan was this: 30% of my income was immediately put aside. I went to my HR department for my company that I worked with. And I said, it was an email. I said, I would like to take 30% of my income and I would like it to automatically be placed in another account, a separate account. That way I can use it for paying myself first and I can use it to do the things that I want to do. And the HR department said, yeah, you can do this yourself. Here's the website. Most companies, if you work for a company, will give you the ability to automatically have a percentage of your income go to a separate account. You might be asking, why does it need to go to a separate account? Well, it's an account that you never need to touch. And I'm going to explain what I did with my accounts, and you can do whatever you want. But if you're not putting money away that you're not able to access, you're going to use it. You're going to spend it. And that's exactly what I did. If you're waiting until after you pay all your bills and pay all the things that you need to pay and then save some money, you're not going to save some money. But let me tell you what happens. Out of sight, out of mind. When that money comes out of your account, as soon as you get paid, you don't think about it. I didn't even notice the 30% of my money going to separate accounts. You might be saying, well, I don't believe that. Let me tell you, I didn't believe it either until I did it. And after I started that 30% going to separate accounts, I would look at those accounts in a few months and I'd say, oh my God, I've got like $1,000 in here. I didn't even notice that money coming out of my account. It's like when you set up a 401k, you don't even notice that money going into your 401k. And it was a very simple plan that I created. 10% of my money, 10% of every dollar that I earned, I saved. It goes into a savings account. The other 10% of all the money that I earn went towards any debts that I had, any credit card debt, any student loan debt, whatever it might be. You can split up the 10% to go towards each of those things. If you have credit card debt, you got to pay that off immediately because it's like 20% interest on credit cards and you are paying hundreds of dollars in credit card interest. I know someone very personally who spends over hundreds of dollars each month just in their credit card interest. Yeah, it's crazy. I was getting there. It was like $70 a month for me. When I had $20,000 on my credit card, it was like $70 a month in interest. And it kept getting higher and higher until I was able to pay it off. So 10% you save, 10% you put towards your debts. And this is the one that a lot of people get caught up on. 10%, the remaining 10% of that 30% goes towards giving. 10% goes into an account that you only use for donations and for giving. And you might be saying, Brandon, I'm not even making that much money right now. How can I put away a portion of my income to give to other people if I'm not even earning any money myself? Well, let me tell you something. The secret to living an extraordinary life is giving. The secret to living is giving. The more that you give, the more you receive. But the key here is you never give with the expectation of receiving. You give because you want to give. You give because you want to help other people. And you can give in many capacities. You can donate to a charity. You can go on to a specific website that like does backpacks for the homeless, and you can buy some backpacks and hand them out in your hometown, or hand them out where there's some homeless people that you can serve and you can help, who might just be going through a tough time in their own life and who could really use your help. You could donate to an animal shelter. You could donate to battered women. You could donate to victims of domestic abuse. There's so many different things in different places that you could give this money and give these resources to. And let me tell you this, guys, and this is what I thought. If you don't give 10 cents of every dollar, you will not give 1,000 out of every 10,000. If you don't give $1 away for every $10 you earn, you will not give 100,000 for every million you earn in the future. If you can't give 10% now, then you'll never give 10%. And if you never give 10%, you'll always be living with this belief and this idea of scarcity and not enough. Now is the time to give. And believe me, you will not notice this percentage of money going into a separate account. So 30% total was my plan. 10% to savings, 10% to pay off debts, and 10% to give. Eventually, I took all those savings and I began to invest. I invest most of my money, most of it, in the market, which is not like Dogecoin. Like I have like $50 in Dogecoin, which went up to like hundreds of dollars, which is awesome. But that's a gamble. I put all of my money into safe, long-term investments where I can put money in now. And once I take that money out in 20 to 30 years, it has grown exponentially with the power of the compound effect to earn me even more money. But the whole point of what I'm talking about here is if you want money to flow to you, then you have to have a plan for that money. If you want money to flow to you, then set your money goals and set your income goals high. If you want to earn $100,000 a year, maybe set your goal to earn $200,000 and ask yourself, what would I have to do in order to earn $200,000? Because if you set your goal for $200,000 and you really put in the work, then guess what? You'll probably land short. You'll probably make less, but you'll probably earn over 100. Or maybe if you earn 40 right now, maybe you'll earn 90 to 100. But take it from me. Take it from somebody who was in debt for years and who struggled for years. Create a plan. Because once I created a plan for my life financially, it took a whole burden off my shoulders. It eliminated so much stress and so much anxiety. When you eliminate your debts and when you're no longer just focused on survival and focused on earning a specific amount of money, you'll talk differently, you'll walk differently, you'll even breathe differently because you'll be able to breathe because you now know that you have secured your own financial future. So just remember, the secret to living is giving. So no matter what situation you're in right now, ask yourself, how can I take 10% of everything that I earn and give it to other people? Just understand everything will come back to you, whether you believe in karma, God, the universe, whatever it might be. When you give, you will always receive. Yeah, by saving and giving, that will help you to be balanced in your own life. And I hope that these financial tips serve you. In the description, you're going to notice a link that goes to my digital ebook. It's a real book. You can buy it on Amazon. It's called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. This link will bring you to a page where you can get the book for free. It's a digital copy. You can read it on your smartphone. You can read it on your tablet, whatever it is you like to read on. And if you go to the chapter on financial mastery, then it goes over exactly what I did to eliminate the debts that I had in my life. It goes over step by step. And then it also talks about how to build financial abundance for yourself and to start yourself on the path and the upward trajectory of financial abundance. And I know it will serve you well. So click the link, get your own copy of that book. And I hope it helps.